Okie dokie. Welcome to July's Inner Circle Marketing Review Call. We don't have a lot of submissions, but I have a few that I'm going to go deep and wide over. And one of them is Keith's, actually. We talked about it today. And, for those of you who don't know Keith, Keith's also a resident of New Hampshire, personal friend of mine. We became friends before we got professionally engaged. And he's a sharp dude. So when I'm coaching people that are really sharp, like all of you, and we make mistakes, how many of us make mistakes? I make mistakes. I'm working on a presentation right now. I ran through the presentation yesterday with a client, and I'm always trying to make things a little bit better. There's always another level. So I want to point out if Keith is making this mistake, I want to share it with everybody else so that you don't make the same mistake. I also want to give you some other examples, and some of you aren't even doing this. So this will be great. So let me share my screen and we will get rocking. Okay. So how many of you have listings that you're looking to get sold? Are you going to have any listings that you want to get sold?
All
Now,
of them.
the vast majority, let me give you some high level because I don't have a lot of submissions and I want to teach you how to fish, not just give you the fish. So, the vast majority of agents, myself included, in North America, listings are the name of the game, man. If we can get a ton of listings, we've got thousands of agents, colleagues with other companies that can bring their buyers to our listing and sell our listing. It's a really nice thing. So if you do your job on the listing end, 100% of your listings should sell. Nothing's perfect, but if you do a really good job, it'll be a high percentage of your listings to sell. How many of you would like to double end more of your own listings? So it's much easier to work with the other agent when you are the other agent. Do you guys agree with that? Anybody in a transaction where you're dealing with the other agent and you're like, want to pull your hair out? They want to fuck the deal up really bad. They try so hard to fucking get in the way of this deal closing. Like it's crazy. So we sold about 30% of our own inventory. And that's a sizable number. I'm not talking about 3 out of 10. I'm talking about 100 out of 400. So out of 400 transactions, a third of them we double ended. There's a couple of things that you can do to increase your chances of double ending. Also, if I like to be strategic, not only would I like to sell my own listing, I'd like to generate more leads, quality leads from my listings. Do you guys agree with that? Let's generate more leads on the listings that we get. So this one strategy that I'm going to give you should help you double end more of your listings. It should also help you generate more leads. The My brain is going so fast, so rapidly, faster than my lips will articulate what's processing through my head. So just give me a second. So we want to double end more of our own listings. We want to generate more leads. We want to eliminate the distractions of other incompetent agents that are getting in the way of the transaction. So those are three really, really good strategies. So the first thing that I want you to do, and this will tie into our next call, is you have to have a belief that you can. You have to have a belief that you actually make an impact and you have an influence in effectuating this outcome. You have to believe it. And, I would even go so far as to say you need to affirm it and you need to start to shift your identity that you are the badass real estate expert that you all are, and that you attract, like that would be a great affirmation. I attract buyers to my listing. I don't worry about the how. I'll get into the how, but affirmations actually move the needle. You become what you think about. I double end a high percentage of my own listings. Start to see yourself in that identity. It'll change your state, and then I'll give you the strategy. So here's a strategy. So um, buyers don't buy a $1.2 million house, a $5 million house in Kip's neighborhood, beautiful area. He sells really high-end homes. They don't buy a $400,000 house. They buy a monthly payment. The majority do. Nothing's 100%. Maybe in Kip's market, they just pay cash. But I'm sure that Kip's had buyers that have financed homes over his career. Is that a reasonable statement?
Yeah.
And even if they're in a position to pay cash, there's advantages to financing that wealthy people take advantage of. So buyers buy monthly payments, and you will significantly increase engagement, conversations, activity when you market monthly payments around your listings. Now, I've been preaching this from the rooftops, and yet I can't get everybody that I coach to put monthly payments in all their property descriptions. You need to comply with Regulation Z, and your lender will give you the rules that go along with that. Regulation Z, real quickly, is if you disclose a monthly payment, you also have to disclose the interest rate, the term, whether it's an adjustable or fixed. And there's a whole bunch of other shit that you need to disclose legally to be able to articulate monthly payments as a real estate agent or a mortgage professional. But so what? Articulate it, include it in everything that you do. So I had this conversation with Keith a little bit ago, and Keith, if it's okay, you did an amazing job. And I saw his post on Facebook, and let's take a look at this. So Keith nails this awesome listing in Needham. The price is million two. Is that right, Keith? You muted.
195. Yeah.
One million.
My
One. Yeah.
mistake. My mistake was I included taxes and insurance. I shouldn't have,
You're
because
getting
that
ahead of me.
makes it
You're
look.
getting ahead of me. You're getting ahead of me. Hold
Sorry.
on. Let
Yeah.
me connect the dots. We also talked, Keith, about jumping the Grand Canyon. So you're way ahead of me, and you're right. But I want people to follow along in the process. But we'll expose that in a second. So Keith puts the monthly payment, and he gets his lender to do the calculation. Everybody can do that. Here's the Regulation Z disclosure down at the bottom. So this monthly payment, and I'll come back and I'll let Keith share the valuable lesson because it'll be better if he teaches it. It'll deep dive it deeper into him. And he goes at $1,200,000 with 20% down on a 30-year mortgage, fixed rate with the APR, through 30-year mortgage, principal interest payments, PITI is $6,042 a month. I saw this and I was such a proud coach. Kudos to Keith for taking action. Keith, now what? So I called him and I'll tell him the feedback and then I'll let him coach you through this in 5 seconds. I said, Keith, I left him a voicemail message. Saw your ad. Great job. But this doesn't really excite me. I live in a multi-million dollar home, $2+ million home, and my payment is less than $6,000 a month. So if I saw this, I wouldn't be really excited about the $6,000 a month payment. So what was my advice, Keith, or what did you pick up from that conversation?
Yeah, I mean, removing taxes and insurance for sure, and then most importantly, offering an adjustable rate on that Reg Z, so that So that obviously brings the payment down quite a bit. I already had my lender revise it for this weekend, and just real quick, I can tell you,
What are you changing this number to?
yep, so it's going to be a 7-year adjustable at 6.34 with 20% down. And I mean, to be honest, this is kind of, what was a little interesting. It went from 6042 and the new payment's 5886. We're talking about less than 50, $60.
You still have
So what's the
taxes and
lesson to,
you
what's the
still have
lesson there?
no, no, you still have taxes included.
Not including taxes and insurance.
There's no way. I bet you that Brian, because the last time he gave you a payment of $6,042 and it includes taxes insurance. Here's the lesson in this. I don't want to get into the weeds, but the
Yeah.
lesson in this, who agrees that more people will call if this number is a lower number?
Yep.
Does everybody agree with that? So that's the goal. The goal in marketing is not to sell the listing. The goal in marketing is to get qualified buyers raising their hand, reaching out to you. Now, I want to talk to somebody who can afford $4,000 a month. Because if they can afford $4,000 a month, I can have conversations with them about different programs. Maybe down the road they can get some assistance from another family member, maybe a co-signer. But I want to talk to people, and I want you to write this down. I want you to have the affirmation. I want to talk to people who want to buy and want to sell. That's a much better approach than what the traditional industry teaches us. Let's just cold call our sphere of influence and see what we can drum up. And then when we cold call our sphere of influence, they go, yeah, I appreciate you reaching out to me, Trinity, but I'm not in the market. I'll keep you in mind. See, I don't want to talk to people. I want to talk to buyers and sellers. Good things happen when you're talking to buyers and sellers. So we want to get our number as low as possible because maybe they don't buy a $1.2 million home, but who's okay with them buying an $800,000 home? Do you guys follow me? So this monthly, let's say that the number that Keith gets him to is $4,900 a month. And then step one is he's talking to somebody. Step two is let's book the appointment and get face to face. Don't get into the specifics of anything on the phone. The goal when we have a lead is to have a consultation. When you have the consultation, you can get into the weeds, you can do the benefits presentation, sign them up to a buyer agency agreement, and that's when you'll have the conversation where their maximum comfort level is $4,800 a month. That'll translate to maybe a $700,000 or $800,000 house. So they're not a candidate for this house, but they're a candidate for a $700,000 or $800,000 house. Anybody have any questions on that? Can everybody raise your hand if this is true? I don't want you to raise your hand if it's not true. Is this a game changer for your business? It's a game changer for my business. 30%, I was able to sell my own listings. Now, we build in this into our sales process too. If I do an open house, or if I'm showing properties to a buyer, I'm always having a conversation with them about the monthly payment on the home that they have an interest in. It's much easier to get them excited about the home that they have interest in when the payment meets their budget. And if you've signed a buyer up to a buyer agreement, sent them to your lender, and the lender approves them for X, you're going to show them homes in the X range. And when they see one they like, I'm going to have a conversation with them about the monthly payment because a confused mind does nothing. And our job as experts is to eliminate the confusion. Conversely, with the seller, I always do a net sheet. It's not about the sales price, it's about what they walk away with. If buyers and sellers are telling you, I need to think about it, we didn't do our job. Okay, does that make sense? So I could go deeper into this, but you guys are smart. I think you get it. So you want to
Hey,
advertise your,
hey, Brian.
yeah,
Apologize to interrupt. Hey, Keith, on that slide, it says one garage, but the photo has two garages.
It's a
yeah,
condex.
it's a
It's a con. That's
conduit.
why
Okay,
I also
okay,
highlighted no condo fee, which is huge.
okay.
Comparable properties in this town at like three bed, 2.5 bath, 1 car garage. They're in an association where they're also paying anywhere from $300 to $600 a month for condo fees. So yeah,
Okay.
that's a condex. But
Okay.
it
Got
raises the question. People call because of that. That's kind of why I put it in there.
Well,
That's great.
here's better. Here's better. The picture shows two garages. Eliminate this line. Let them assume that it has two garages. Do you guys follow me? Let so I want them to falsely assume that, oh my God, I get this whole property. I want buyers who want to buy to call me. Yeah, it's like ninja selling. Who's ever bought something? Let me give you an example. This is just worthy of it, and I love you guys, so it's worthy of having this conversation. You know those pool balls that you can put in your in-ground pool or above ground pool, and they're balls and they float, they're plastic, and they have a remote control and you can turn them different colors. So we bought a bunch for the 4th of July holiday. And the ad tells you about the balls, and my wife picked them out. She said we got to have 5 or 3. We can't have 2 or 4. You need to have a weird number of balls. So I said okay. So we got different sizes, and they arrived, and the size was smaller than I anticipated. So I ended up buying more. We bought 2 more. We went from 3 to 5, and I bought the next size up. But I made the assumption of the size. Do you guys follow me? Anybody ever make that mistake? I'll give you another one. We have a front porch at our house and we shop online, and we wanted these flower pots that hang from the front. But if you don't water them, they die. They need to be watered every day. So Martha Stewart, I saw, I don't know, I was just flipping through the channel and I saw Martha Stewart showing these flower pots. I tell my wife about it. She goes online, she buys the flower pots, and it says jumbo size. Jumbo size is the key word in the ad. So she buys 4 of them. They weren't jumbo size at all. We ended up sending them back, but they turned us into a lead. And then the customer service at Martha Stewart's called us and asked us what was wrong with it, and we explained to them that we wanted a bigger size. They ended up converting us and selling us a super jumbo size, and we're very, very happy with them. So generate the lead. Don't We don't want to make people dissatisfied, but if you follow the 3 steps, generate the lead, get the appointment, acquire the client, life is going to be really good. Okay, let me share the next one with you. All right. Here's the other thing that people do frequently is, and I think I said this exactly to Keith on our call this morning. If I gave you the recipe to make brownies and it said eggs, flour, sugar, let's say that's what it said, would you go to the refrigerator, get some mustard, mayonnaise, and ketchup and put it in the recipe? We all do this in real estate. I did it too. I had a coach, they tell you what to do, and I do it, but then I go and put my own ketchup and mayonnaise in it. How do you think brownies would taste with ketchup, mayonnaise, and mustard? Not really good. So I had a call with another client. Jana Ferris, Kip, I think you know Jana. Great
Hmm.
lady, smart lady, makes millions of dollars a year selling real estate, has multiple businesses, very smart woman. And she goes, "Hey, Brian, I've got a buyer looking in this area, and I created this with ChatGPT. So, qualified buyer looking for a home like yours in Country Place. They're looking for mature trees, established homes, premier neighborhood, convenient location, qualified buyers searching for a place. I'm representing luxury buyers, professional marketing." Kip, can you tell me what's wrong with this?
Well, it doesn't speak to a particular property. Like, like if I see this as a homeowner, it's like, okay, well, they want to buy in the neighborhood, but what do they want to buy?
Well, she is nailing it here. They want Country Place,
Hmm.
and she's got Country Place here. There's two things.
Brian, can we see the whole ad? Is her information at the bottom, or is that what's missing?
This is the
Oh, there it is.
best
Okay.
backside. Let's make it happen. If your home has crossed your mind as a possible sale sometime now in the future, this may be an ideal time to have a confidential conversation. Nobody wants to have a confidential conversation with you. We're using language, aren't we, Keith? Right? Your email, we're using language in our videos, and we're copying the fucking industry, or we're asking ChatGPT to help us, and it's giving us bad advice. Now, this isn't horrible. This woman's very successful, but let's optimize it. Let's make it better. So here's the two things that are wrong with this. Two big things. One is this reeks of marketing. How do you guys feel about marketing? Do you like to be marketed to? Do you like to be targeted? Do you? So when people see all this branding, it can work and will work. But do you know what works better? Less. The old saying, less is more. So that's one thing. And I'm going to show you how to minimize the marketing and the all this prettiness. She did a great job, but it's like, it's a fucking ad. I know at an unconscious level that ads are to generate leads. Makes me really wonder and be skeptical. Do you really have a buyer for my home? Or is this just a listing tool? And this is happening in people's mind at a very, very rapid rate. The second thing is the messaging could be so much better. So much better. So let me show you. What am I going to show them, Kip? 33 twists. Does this look like marketing? This doesn't look like marketing at all. This looks like a letter that was sent by Kip directly to the homeowner. So I'll give you a few versions because you want to, if you have buyers looking in an area, or if you want to get listings in a particular area, the 33 twist letter is the way to do it. And Kip, amen, brother. Have you had any more calls since the other one? How many letters have gone out?
I've sent out approximately 1,500 letters, and I've received 4 calls so far.
4 calls. Have you converted any of those to appointments yet?
2 appointments. 2 others are people that are real estate agents that have licenses that are interested in selling their houses, but they're going to use themselves.
Okay, so
Brian,
they
can I
don't.
ask a quick question? Brian, quick
Yeah,
question, because I
yeah.
know you're going to probably mention this, but Kip, did you have someone handwrite the envelope, or was it print?
So I use a handwriting font to handwrite the envelopes. I'll grab one for you. So they're I use
I pay one of my neighbors.
You
She's,
guys, okay. I'm gonna
I got
stop.
like three teenagers.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
interrupt you guys. I'm gonna
yeah.
stop you because you're getting in the weeds. You're getting really in the weeds. Go ahead and show it, Kip. We can optimize by the goal is to get the letter opened. Let me stop share for a second. The goal is to get the letter opened. So minimum standard, white envelope, white stationery, professional business card. If you want to take it another level and handwrite the envelope, marginal improvement. Let's not get into the weeds. I don't mean to interrupt you, but there's so much I want to give you on today's call. I just want you to take action and send these letter out. Now, Kip, the two leads that you have, the two that are agents that are going to use themselves, they don't count. But on 1,500 letters, let's say the cost was $1,500, right? We'll call
Yep.
it $1 a letter, which
Yep.
probably I'm rounding up. If one of these converts, what's the price of what's the price? Well, Kip's in a huge market. Let's say it was $1 million targeted audience. 3% of $1 million is 30,000. Who would spend $1,500 for 30,000? No referral fee. Your cost per sale is very affordable, very reasonable. I don't want to talk to hundreds of people. I want to enjoy my life. I want to go to the lake. Trinity wants to go to the lake. She wants to go tubing and water skiing. She wants to go to concerts and live her life. The best way to sell more homes with less effort is to get buyers and sellers to call you. And I only need to talk to a few qualified prospects to convert one. Instead of what the industry does, talks to hundreds of people to maybe get one. So I'll just show you the example because this is important. White letter, due to the shortage of inventory in this area. We have buyers. Now, you can all do this. You don't actually have to have the buyer because you know that when you list a property for sale, we syndicate it to all these websites. We collaborate with our colleagues at Remax, Keller Williams, Century 21, ERA, Berkshire Hathaway. And there are always buyers looking in an area. So I'm not saying I have a buyer. We have buyers. Who's we? Our fucking industry. We have buyers. I don't need to get into the weeds. The goal is to get the phone to ring. Unfortunately, none of the homes listed for sale meet their criteria. We're writing specific owners to see if they have any interest in selling. This is very important. How sexy is this language? They are approved buyers willing to pay top dollar for the right home who can offer a flexible closing date, waive inspections, and allow you time to locate your next home. Do these buyers exist in your market, people?
Mm-hmm.
So let's tell the world that those buyers exist and let's go looking for them. So let's generate leads with that. So that's one example. Here's another one. So this is a letter that I wrote, and you want to be specific to the area. And this letter goes out to an area where it's a mix mash of homes. So we identified that there are buyers looking for the two types of homes in this area around Chatham. One is entry-level homes. We have buyers looking for entry-level homes. And we have buyers looking for high-end luxury homes. So does everyone see that I've covered the entire market in Chatham, Massachusetts? The other thing I put is the buyers are seeking the amenities of the area that you live in. So if I'm targeting Chatham, people want to be close to shopping, the beaches, the ocean, the yacht club, golf courses, the marina. So the person receiving this letter goes, honey, we're near shopping, beaches, ocean, golf courses, and marina. Any condition? Our home's in great condition. Let's call the agent. Okay, so 33 twist letter is a jackpot. Let's make sure you guys are doing that. Here's another one. This one is in Pennsylvania, State College. That's near Penn State. So due to the shortage of inventory in State College, Buyers are looking in your neighborhood. We have buyers looking for 3-bedroom homes, 4-bedroom homes. Now, whoever receives this letter, I know has a 3 or 4-bedroom home. Any age, any condition, garage preferable but not mandatory. When the person receiving this letter says, "Oh my God, I have a garage," we want to be close to Penn State, the area shopping, and adjacent to the turnpike. These are approved buyers willing to pay over market value for the right home. And you want to put the high end of the price point in that neighborhood. That doesn't mean that you're going to list the home for 600, a 3-bedroom home. A 3-bedroom home in state college is probably 400,000, but it generates the lead because they go, "Wow, maybe Trinity has some sucker who will give me 600,000. Let me check and see what Trinity has before I list my home with my cousin." How many of you want to talk to that person? I want to talk to that person. Okay, so 33 twist letter. Anybody have any questions on that? Do include your business card. Huge shelf life on this. So Kip's got 2 leads, 2 good solid leads out of 1,500, but I promise you there's a percentage of those 1,500 that have your letter on their desk. They're just not ready yet. And you'll have shelf life from that. You'll get benefits from it. Okay, 2 other ones I want to show you. And it got me thinking today when I was talking with Keith. So take a screenshot of these ads. These are universal social media ads. And what I've done is I'm targeting a niche. So here, I want to talk to buyers who are looking for new construction. I hate new construction. But you know, in my market, if you direct a buyer to new construction, the builder's agent will bring it all the way to close and you get paid and you don't have to do shit. It's pretty sweet. So I want to talk to those people. I also know that when I consult with a buyer who calls on this, there's a high percentage of them that aren't married to new construction and are willing to look at resale. There's also a high percentage of them that have a home to sell. How many of you would agree with that? So this ad is very strategic in nature because it's targeting a higher end price point, which often results in somebody selling their lower priced home. So this is a great ad. If this isn't in your weekly, monthly campaigns, you're leaving money on the table. Acreage. My market my home has 9 acres. I don't like people. I don't want to be talking to my neighbors. I want my privacy. So are there buyers like Brian Moses who want to be private? So let's run an ad to get 1 call, to get 2 calls. Let's spend 50 or $100 for 2 leads. How many of you are down for that? 2 leads, I convert 1 of them and I make $30,000. That's a pretty good deal. What if I have to spend $500 to generate a sale? My cost per lead is still low. My cost per sale is still way lower than Zillow or referral fee. So we can significantly lower our costs and create a consistent income or stream pipeline of leads. Just a generic free list of homes. So take these 3 ads, target a specific area in your market, run them by me, send them to me. Let me dot the I's, cross the T's, make them a little bit stronger. But if we were going to go fishing, you need to have bait to catch the fish. How you catch buyers and sellers is with bait. The bait that I use is messaging. Any questions on this? Who's glad they showed up today? Told you I'm going to bring it. I'm pumped. Okay, let me give you another one. How about sellers? Brian, I don't like buyers. I want sellers. Okay, waterfront. lakefront, oceanfront, ocean view. Target people who are looking for that particular niche. Trinity, how far is the lake from you?
The Lake of the Ozarks?
Yeah, is that where you go? Is that where I see
Yes.
you?
Depending on, I mean, it's a huge lake, but anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour.
Do you sell in there if somebody was looking on lakes in the Ozark, or is that out of your area?
Um, I do to friends and family. It's a lot more complicated down there, just with all of the different restrictions and licensing you have to have for
Yeah,
docks and permits and whatever. So
dock,
I
septic,
do,
yep.
but yeah, but
Okay,
that's definitely not my niche.
okay, so good to know that's not our niche. If you wanted to significantly increase your average sales price, you could make it your niche. And I'm
Hmm.
not saying you should do that, but whoever your niche is, fish with the bait that your niche would bite on and respond to. Sell without listings, a great one. And you can insert the targeted area. Now, if you don't want to get involved in lakefront because of the docks, you could do lake view. So maybe you don't have those restrictions or near the lake. Or you could adjust the copy wants to be within an hour of the lake. So if you own a home within an hour of Lake of the Ozarks in these towns, we have buyers that are looking in that area. Um, Fix it and sell program. Talk with your lenders and find out what ridiculous, insane program they have that they don't have a lot of demand for. And the reason they don't have a lot of demand for it is because there's rules, covenants, and restrictions. So, for example, I learned about this when I was talking with a client in Arizona, and you could get $20,000 in down payment assistance if you bought a home in the inner city where essentially it's the hood, gangs, murders, crime. Well, you're not going to get a lot of calls if you say, hey, buy a property in the hood and get 20%, $20,000 in free money. But let's not let the facts get in the way with a good story. It is a good story to say, get $20,000 in free money to buy a home in Phoenix. Call Bill for details. Who's going to call? People that want to buy a home. Now, you're not going to get into the conversation on the phone. And because you have something that they want, do you think the show rate to your office goes up or goes down? You guys tell me. It goes up. I don't let them control the call. I go, we have lots of programs. I'm running to my next appointment. Not only do we have lots of financing programs, we have a buyer advantage program. And if we know where you're looking, what price range, what style, what amenities are important to you, we can give you access to all these amazing deals. Now, my son Peyton gave me a scientific word telling me what I do, and I didn't even know that there was a word for it. Where you take one offer, another offer, you articulate it, and the consumer thinks that the offers they go together. Meaning, one offer is you can get a free list of homes in Phoenix. Another offer is you can get up to $20,000 in down payment assistance. What does the public hear? I can get $20,000 in down payment assistance to buy a home anywhere in Phoenix. There's actually a scientific word for it. If I hear him running through the halls, he's in the house somewhere. I'll let you know what it is. But that's genius. So we get him to call, then we have the appointment. Hang on. Okay. Close that one. Okay. The last one. The last one I want you to do. How many of you feel like you can handle this? You can execute it. Monthly payments on everything that you do. 33 twist letter. Send out X number a month. Set up a campaign like Kip did. Set it and forget it. Facebook ads. Set it and forget it. Like it takes time to get them set up. But once they're set up, you put $5 an ad spend on them. I'm running 12 or 13 ads right now. The big coaching companies like Tom Ferry, 400 ads every day on social media. But I don't have 700 coaches. It's just me. I don't need that much volume. So you can turn your ads up or you can turn your ads down as you deem appropriate for your lifestyle and your goals. All right, the last one is going to sound so simple, but it's a jackpot idea. And your brain may think everybody does this. It's not true. Not everybody does what I'm about to show you. And it's so simple, your brain goes, this can't work. I'm telling you, it works really, really well, even today. So it's an offer of a free home evaluation. But there's a couple of ways to do it. Remember what I said at the beginning of the call? People resist salespeople. They don't respond favorably to ads, to being sold. So we're going to take this campaign and we're going to do a less branded approach with it. And I'll give you some distinctions here, and you can send your materials to me and I'll review them. But thinking of selling your home this year, find out instantly what your home would sell for in today's market. Scan the QR code. And because we're real estate agents, I don't know if you can see this, you have to disclose your name and your company. This is a free service provided by Christina Coppola, Mass and New Hampshire Realtor with Lamacchia Realty. Here's her phone number. So she's complying with the law, but she's doing the opposite of what everybody does, where they make their image and their brand the emphasis of the message. Minimize your marketing to less branded. Watch the results go through the roof. I would take this one step further. I would come up with a domain name. So where can they go to get this? There's a company that I like a lot, and there's several. I don't have any skin in the game. So find a company that provides an online market evaluation. I personally love Prime Seller Leads. They do a really great job. It looks like this. So the ad, and you saw a business card. A business card is a media, but you could run the same message on social media, on a bandit sign. You can put it on your email signature. You can put a car magnet on your car. We just need to get the message in front of your community and you will get leads. So I would get a subscription on a company like Prime Seller Leads, who sets it up for you. They ask for images of homes in your area because different parts of the country have different homes. So you don't want to have beach cottages if you're in Des Moines, Iowa. Wouldn't make sense. So you want to have homes where they go, oh, that looks like my home. That looks like my home. Huh. What is the value of your Orange County home or condo? Free home value estimate 30 seconds away. Now, down here on the bottom is the compliance part. Dennis D'Souza. Kip, you know Dennis. Dennis was the #1 Remax team in all of California when I coached him. Now he's with EXP. He's crushing revenue share. He's pretty much backed out of production, but he's still running this. This is active. And so he's compliant. He's got his name down here, but nobody even sees it. what they see is this, and they punch in their address. And as soon as they do that, Dennis gets an email with the property address. So he knows it's like the mouse stepped in the track. Anybody ever try to catch a mouse and the cheese is gone? You know the mouse was there. So when they punch in their address, you know the mouse was there. And you can cross market to them. You could reverse look them up and call them up and make an offer to give them a home evaluation. This is a great lead. Once they type this in, it says, it gives them some more criteria. And I don't want you guys going here and punching it in. There's a free demo on Prime Seller Leads, but this is called a two-step opt-in process. Keith, remember I talk about baby steps? Most people do a one-step opt-in process. We'll give you a free home evaluation. What's your name? What's your phone number? It's like, whoa, pump the brakes. By just saying, give me your address, it makes it easy for them to do that. They don't have their guard on yet. Does that make sense to everybody? It's a brilliant mechanism. It's made me millions of dollars. Free home evaluation. Here's some examples of a URL that you'll point it to. A URL is a domain. So in New Hampshire, I used to have NewHampshireRealEstateAppraisal.com. So punch in your area, realestateappraisal.com. Real estate home pricing value index.com. Don't pay an arm and a leg for a benefit rich domain name. Just find a good one. Get excited about it. And what happens is, compounded over weeks, months, years of me running New Hampshire realestateappraisal.com, people would remember that domain name and go to it 3 months from now. It's called Benefit Rich. They'll remember that domain way better than they'll remember TrinityHiggins.com or KipBocher.com. Does that make sense, everybody? This is ninja shit. This is like PhD advanced stuff. But it's really simple. And it's made me millions and millions of dollars. So hopefully you all got some strategies that you can implement and execute and make some dough. And then give me a good success story on social. Anybody have any questions? Fired up? Like, here's the goal. 5 more qualified leads a week. It's 250 leads a year. I don't want to talk to 250 people a week. I can. I had a team of 8 and we turned the thermostat up on lead gen, and I just gave out leads like my wife gives out candy when we're watching the movies. Who wants candy? Who's got a mom like that or a friend like that? It's like, stop giving me the fucking candy. I'm trying to lose weight. It's like, I got tons of it. Here you go. I could give out leads to my team like candy. So that's the deal. 5, start with 5 a month and 5 a week. So if you're already doing the 33 twists, Kip, awesome. Set it and forget it. Don't give it another thought. Do the free home evaluation. Add a couple of campaigns on social media and watch what fucking happens. You do these strategies today, in the next month, like carve out 2 days over the next 2 weeks to dive in and execute prime seller leads, get some bandit signs, post them around town, free home evaluation, go to Trinity, what town do you live in if Lake of the Ozarks isn't your town?
Jefferson City or Columbia, Missouri, either one.
Are those places that you want to get listings in?
Mhm.
Okay, so Is there one county that covers both of them or no?
No, it's Cole County and Boone County.
Okay, I would do both Jefferson and what was the other one? Columbia.
Columbia.
I would get two domains. One week you target Jefferson, one week you target Columbia, and you put them on rotation.
Mhm.
Because the more specific you are, the more it speaks to your target audience. It's like, holy shit, I live in Columbia. ColumbiaHomeAppraisal.com. See if that's available. If that's not available, get creative. Columbia home value or house value or house appraisal.
So Brian, you're saying go county rather than town.
Well, I'm saying, so I used to have Hillsborough County
Right, sure.
because it covered 7 towns. So rather than
Right,
buying 7 domain names, but I also had my top three. I also had Nashua, Hudson, Merrimack.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah. But start with one, right? Like go after a niche and let's get listings in that niche. And then let's go get another niche. And then let's go get another niche. Anyone have any questions? You guys are all really quiet. If no questions, what about thoughts? Nothing. All right.
Our website domain, the biggest one, is viewjeffersoncityhomes.com. That's where our whole database goes to. But then we have like Epic Real Estate Group, which is our whole company. And then that domain ties into viewjeffersoncityhomes.com. So
Okay.
every lead is kind of funneled into the same place.
God
And then
bless you for asking the question because this is going to be so obvious. View Jefferson, what's the website?
it's viewjeffersoncityhomes.com.
Does that appeal to sellers?
No.
Get a domain for sellers,
Okay.
right? Like I'm sure listings drive the business, right?
Hmm.
You generate another 50, 100 listings a year.
Hmm.
Sign calls are the best leads. Who agrees that sign calls are better than internet calls? Right. So, but you guys are making hay with the internet leads that are going to view Jefferson County Homes for Sale.com, whatever that is. But let's create some benefit rich domain names and drive traffic to that. And you don't need to create a new website. You can get a subscription with prime seller leads for like a couple $100 a month, 2,400 bucks a year. You run $5 an ad a day on ad spend for under 5 grand. You'll make your money 100-fold over that. And it's all
Brian, do
done
they
for
do the
you.
ad spend or do you have to have your Meta account manager account set up with your own credit card?
What's
Or do
that?
they manage? So what you say, like as far as like them running the ads or stuff like that, do they take charge of your like are you paying them for the ad
Nope.
or are you
No,
you're still going through ads, you're going through Meta, correct? You're
you're
still
going
doing
through
Meta.
your own page. They have customer support and they'll help idiots like me who can't do this, right? And then I'll go, I'm out. Let me have you talk to my VA and my VA will set it up. And I'll say this in closing. Don't try to become something you're not. I am not good with technology. I don't want to be good with technology. It's not my strength. I want to get really good with everything else that I'm doing that's really optimal. But the buck, we are responsible for our own success. Our moms, our dads, our brothers, our sisters, our team is not responsible for our success. So we have to accept responsibility. We can delegate the authority, but not the responsibility. So if I were in your shoes, Keith, I would delegate the authority to execute this. Hey, my VA's name is Frey. Frey, I want you to call prime seller leads. I want you to link this shit up. I want you to tie it into my Meta account. I don't want to learn this. I want you to do it. If you have any questions, I'm responsible. Call me, let me know. I'll help you through it. Show me when it's done. And then I take the responsibility to measure, to track, what's my cost per lead, what's my cost per sale. How can I make things better? That's on me. That's my responsibility. But the authority of doing it, Keith and I were talking about something the other day. Somebody called me to sell one of their homes, and it's a friend of the family, so I said I would do it. It's an $800,000 house. I'll make a shit ton of money, more than I make on a coaching call. I'm like, I should probably do this. So I hire an agent and I pay the agent to do what I don't want to do. But I'm keeping the lion's share of the commission. And they're happy because they're getting paid. My VA's happy because she's getting paid. So now for some of us, we don't have the resources currently to hire somebody. So we got to walk before we run. So if the Facebook strategy is too overwhelming, start with something that you can execute, like signage, like twist letters, open house strategies. Let's start making some money. But it's all about massive action. I love and appreciate you guys. You guys are my faves. So appreciate you showing up. You keep me coming, and I'll see you. Don't miss the second Wednesday of August. Oh, bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. No, I mean this sincerely. Share it with the people that you love. This next call will blow your fucking mind. All right. Have a great day. Love you all. Bye bye.
Bye,
Thanks,
Brian.
buddy.